We're back. Part 2. So if you haven't seen part 1, go watch part 1 and then come watch part 2. But I'm just going to jump in. But yeah, somebody, they thought, like I said, somebody, the justice, whether this is spiritual justice, whether this is the Justice Department, they saw what somebody was working on, and they allowed somebody to build up their case against themselves. Hey, Shaylin, yes, we back. They allowed this couple to build the case against themselves. They said, "Now y'all go ahead, do what you do. Take all the time you need to get this case rock solid. We want y'all to get all the evidence against yourselves, because when we come in and put the hammer down, you're gonna know we put the hammer down." See, somebody thought that they could cause some pain within your relationship. They could cause you the pain within your partnership, not understanding that that was a lie. Why they was trying to do this, we don't even know. It was a lie. It was always going to be a fantasy. You was always going to have what you needed. You was always going to receive that big cup of love. Because see, somebody didn't realize all that passion, all that excitement, all that superficial love that they was looking for, it was within inside of them. That's what they didn't understand. That's what they was trying to take, what was inside of you. How stupid does that sound? They didn't exercise no caution when it came to working with this devil. They was like, count me in, sign me up. How else can I stand on the front line? What's the message, Spirit? It's like, sign me up, boss. That's all you need? It's just for me to do these devilish crimes. That's it, boss. Yeah, somebody, they need some balance in their life. Their money is not right now. And they understand, because you know what? This is the Queen and the King of Swords. This person, not only, it's like somebody, you know what, you could have been very logical and very wise and told them. You saw both sides of a situation. And you knew, it's like you didn't understand what they was doing, but you was telling them, hey, listen, I don't understand none of that bullshit that you talking about or what you really trying to do, but I see both sides of a situation and it's not going to turn out good. You was trying to really nurture someone. You was trying to lead them on the right track. But this person couldn't see it. They couldn't see it. They decided that you was trying to get them off track, so they made a different decision. And then they're going to go in the opposite direction. Well, okay, you do that then. You do that. But see, somebody invested with the wrong one. They thought they was investing with somebody that was sweet and innocent and everything, but no, this was the wrong one. I know, stomach. Boy, my stomach, if y'all can hear that, that's just confirmation. That's all that is. And it's my cue that I'll be eating in a little bit. What else, Spirit? Somebody, they yeah, something about their money. They knew they was just going in the right way, the right direction, and they was going full steam ahead, only to come to a roadblock, to a you slowing down, you ain't doing nothing, only for somebody to have to really understand that they was not at a roadblock, they was at just a definite end. Now somebody's going within and they thinking about this decision that they made. this idea that they had, this great plan to take whatever it was that was not theirs. Somebody thinking about that, especially since they being investigated. They're being investigated because of a choice that they made. Somebody is under judgment. It's like, come on now. How you gonna sit here and do all this bullshit and think that ain't nothing coming back? Even when you go volunteer and you feed the hungry children, you may not see it come back right then, but you know eventually that goodness that you put out there was coming back on some way, somehow. So why isn't the badness coming back? See, they don't realize they should have stuck with you. They would have been with somebody who's compassionate, somebody who was destined to win, and somebody who's stable, who knows what their gifts are, who has their spiritual inheritance, who has not given up their seat at the spiritual throne. This is somebody they should have stuck with. The star. That's where their opportunity lied. They know that they're thinking about this now. Now they remember, and damn, now they're having these nostalgic thoughts. I should have stuck with the star. But instead, they threw all caution to the wind. That's why their ass is getting it now. That's why everything is fucking crumbling. All because, you know what? Somebody thought it was going to be cute to try and have some type of generational curse over your life. They thought that shit was going to be cute. But they're finding out the truth now. The truth of the matter is that shit ain't cute at all. See, what they didn't see was who they collaborated with, this magician. That's what they did not see. So like I said, somebody thought they was going to come in, they was going to take something from you, you know, and you was going to be the one that was at loss. But what they didn't see was who they was working with. That's what they didn't see, who they was truly working with. What they didn't know was that you wasn't afraid of this motherfucker. You was like, bring their ass on. Bring Roger's ass on over here because I've been looking for Roger for a minute now. You know? They thought they was going to have you in a position you was not worried at all. You wasn't going to be stuck because you ain't do shit to be stuck. It was this group. Hi, Marcia. Hey, Fresh from A-Nap. How are you? What you saying? Nobody still wants to know your crew. That's funny. You too. Okay. Yeah, somebody feels like a fool for working with this damn magician. They feel foolish. They feel dumb. Especially when everybody says, wait a minute, they see what somebody did to their own family life, to their own family. It's kind of like people are like, wait, you did this? I'm telling you, people, they so busy to jump on board. They are so busy to jump on board that hate train. They don't care who they hating, just as long as it's somebody. Just as long as it's somebody. They're not checking out all the information. They ain't checking out to see if the story is true. They're like, well, you know what? Somebody said it, so there's got to be some truth in it. You know what? Sometimes there's not a single shred of truth in a full fucked up lie. Some people are lying just to be lying. Like I said, somebody thought they was going to have some fun throwing some type of generational curse on you. They thought that they were going to do that. They just didn't know that you was the generational curse breakup. They didn't know that. They know now. Now they understand when they thought that that earth angel was just a myth. They thought it was just a lie. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. They're getting the message. They're getting the message. To see, there's a whole. So now somebody understand. There's a whole lot of shit that was going on with this whole family that they did not know. There was a whole lot of shit that happened in the past that somebody didn't even think to ask questions about. They just stepped they foot all in it. I'm telling you, they said, sign me up. Now this is the same motherfucker that wanted to be signed up that got to defend themselves in the court of law. Now they looking for an attorney that has that good discernment. And now they have to be courageous because of this team that they decided that they was going to work with. Now you need an attorney, so sign you up. You want to be signed up. When you go stand in front of that judge and that judge say, I'm giving you 10, remember that you signed up for that. Whether this is spiritual or in the physical. They thought the wheel of fortune was going to turn in their favor forever. Goodbye. Wheel of fortune said, boy or girl, bye. They said, go on with that bullshit. See, somebody decided they didn't realize that what comes around goes around, and it was coming around for this. And this was not an empress in her on the upright. This was somebody dark in the shadows. They didn't see that was coming back around for this empress, and this shit was coming around quickly. When we say quickly, we mean quickly. Now somebody want to be all, this Queen of Wands. She want to be all diplomatic to the King of Cups. Well, I didn't know it was going to turn out like that. I felt like if we continue to work towards this together, it would all just kind of fall into place. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause you no pain between you and your partnerships. I didn't mean this to work out like this. Now somebody want to be like, bitch, go sit your funky ass down. What's the message, spirit? Yeah, somebody's getting the message that all that dirty dog shit that they did in the family is coming to light. People's going to find out about it. People get the message of who your hidden enemies really were. This group, this family, they getting the message. Hey, Black Beauty, how are you? Hey, 007 Maniac, how are you? Grand Rising. Yes. The same group that somebody has to defend themselves against, the same group they got to get some legal protection from. That's who you want to kick it with. They kicked it with them, and now that same group is kicking them while they down. Kick, kick, kick. See how that kicking works out? That's why you need to tell people, keep your feet on the ground. Don't be trying to, if you see somebody trying to kick somebody else, you know they will kick you. And now everybody get to sit around while God kicked their ass. Yep, they thought that was going to scare you. I know you just did not. They thought they was going to put the fear of God in you. Guess what? The fear of God already been in you. That's why you came out swinging, because God said, go on and get him, high priestess. And you was like, ah. I know they didn't. See, now everybody afraid of you. Now everybody's afraid of you because they see they couldn't do shit to hurt you. You was a healer. You healed yourself. You healed yourself. Come on now. This ain't rocket science. Y'all stop being, stop. I know this a game. I know you ain't really that dumb. I know you ain't really that stupid. Quit playing with me. Quit pulling on my leg. Somebody thought they could stop you from being happy. I'm happy through and through, boo. We're happy through and through. We got the 10 of cups and it's going around and around and around. And the more somebody try and stop us, the happier we get. That's why we said, oh, okay. Got you. That's why we left. And when you left, that's when everything started coming back around on them same fucking clowns. All because they were going to try and do you wrong. They should have honored this relationship, but this is the relationship that they did the worst. Now somebody, they feel like their life is just completely over. They feel like they shit is just done, especially because the police is after them and the police ain't giving up. I'm telling you, the police been on to them for a while now. They've been letting these people build up their case against themselves. And yes, and everything is so clear as to what they was trying to do. It's just that people cannot understand why they were trying to do this to you. Why try and give somebody a hardship? Why try and make life even harder than what the shit already is? Yes, it was somebody was living in a dream. They was living in a fucking dream. And like I said, now they need an attorney. Yes, because of their choices. They decided they was going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do this now and ask questions later. Well, that was dumb. That was dumb. They celebrated too soon. They celebrated way too soon, especially since they got to defend themselves. Celebrated way too soon. They hoping they get the right attorney. They hoping they get the right attorney that'll find some type of loophole, find some type of something that will go back and look at different type of case law and say, well, back in 1973 on the books and the United States Supreme Court, Brown versus such and such and such and such, or the versus Roger, blah, 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 blah. To kind of like find some type of loophole where something happened and they can kind of get somebody out of something. Yeah, so that this person ain't got to get locked up for the bullshit they was doing, and then somebody can just sit there and say, "Well, ignorance is bliss" or whatever. Somebody just like, "Well, I didn't know." Like the judge supposed to be like, "Well, since you didn't know that you was breaking the law, you go on and get out of here." And it happening like that. Judge is like, wait, you mean to tell me when y'all kidnapped the person, put them in the trunk of the car, put the chloroform over their face and they passed out, took them to the warehouse, tied them upside down with the chains, and then was trying to threaten them with rats and snakes and spiders and all that shit that they're afraid of? None of that, you thought none of that shit was a crime? During all of that shit, all that the entire weekend. It wasn't just a night. It wasn't just a day. This is the entire weekend. You didn't think at one moment, damn, we should probably not do this. What if they missing an appointment or something? You didn't think about none of that shit. Just said you didn't think about none of that shit was going to come back around on you. Just said, you got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding me. You too strong to sit there and say this bullshit. Go sit your ass down. You too fucking strong. You gonna need to be just as strong. Yes, Lord, you gonna need to be just as strong. I hope you've been doing whatever you got to do. Take care of your business. You ain't got much longer on the outside. Because Spirit said, trust me, you knew what time it was when the time was there, but you still was curious how things was going to work out trying to do somebody else wrong. So you know what time it is. You know your shit is through. You know that happiness that you was looking for, that shit is gone. That shit is gone. Spirit said that shit is gone. Say bye. Say bye. Say look at happiness in the eye and say bye happiness. Bye happiness. Bye happiness. Spirit said, I mean say bye happiness. I mean wave to a goodbye. You got to be fucking kidding me. It's too many. I guess it's meant for me to have all these damn cards. Yeah. Yes. Somebody they okay, so they thought that the crime was not that bad. They're like, what shit? I thought they liked mice. They're just spiders. It wasn't like there was a black mamba. It wasn't like there was a black mamba snake. It was just a king cobra. What's wrong? What's wrong? I thought they said they wasn't afraid of nothing, so we were gonna put them to the test. Thinking smooth operator, like they could talk themselves out of anything. Smooth operator, smooth operator. Yeah, okay. Spirit said, no, you was doing this, you working on something on purpose to try and cause somebody some pain. That's the fucked up part. You doing the shit on purpose. It's not like it was an oopsie. It's not like you was like, well, me and this person, we always been happy and this and that and the other, and we just gonna remain happy. No, you did your best to try and turn somebody else's life upside down. And you've been doing this stupid shit for a while now. Now you trying to find somebody to help you get out of this bullshit that you got yourself in. Because you think that you deserve to be out there enjoying life. I know you fucking kidding me. Who the fuck you thought that you was? Like everybody gonna sit there and say, well, that's the devil. Let him be. Let him be. You know, he just out there doing what he do. You know, the devil do devilish things. Just don't say nothing. Just act like you don't see the devil. He'll leave you alone. Fuck that. Fuck that. They said, no, you and your motherfucking crew. Everybody getting some of this. Come on over here. Everybody feeling these hands. Everybody feeling these smacking upside the head hands. Everybody get in fucking line. Get in line, bro. I don't care. Youngest to the oldest, tallest to the shortest. I don't give a shit. Just get in the fucking line. And then on top of that, it was this King of Wands. It was his fucking decision to even cause the conflict. This the head motherfucker. Dumbass. Now somebody talking about something. Oh, you know what? They're trying to put an end to the. Can't you just forget the past? Can't you just put that shit behind you? What? You had my ass strung up in a fucking warehouse for the entire weekend. My binge watching TV show fucking weekend with this weird shit trying to scare the fuck out of me. And you know how many times I got bit by a fucking spider? And you just want to forget about it? Can we let this shit ride? That's why I called the police on your ass. That's why I called the police. The moment I got down, I was like, is this 911? She was like, yes, it is. What's your emergency? You was like, I need some help. Quick. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh, because somebody, but well, damn, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. I mean, you was only upside down, dangling with them cold ass, greasy, cold chains, them thick shits that they put around, like elephants to try and get lions so that they can't jump at nobody. We thought that we needed to. Hell, the chain was half your body weight, but we thought we needed all that chain to hold you down. We understand that you only weigh like 115. We didn't know that 75-pounder chain was going to be too hard, too much on you. See, they celebrated too soon because they was like, we can do all these tricks to this bitch and she won't know nothing. Now they all feel like fools. They was doing too much because, see, you knew what the fuck this empress, and it wasn't even an empress. You knew what the fuck this old hag was fucking doing. You knew what the fuck this old hag was doing. It was like, keep it up. Because as soon as I get up out these chains, as soon as I get my ankles free, and I find my motherfucking phone, it's over for y'all. It's over for y'all. I mean it. Look at all them damn rats. You was like, hey, looking at the rats. Wasn't y'all in the movie Ben? Find my cell phone and bring me the cell phone. The mice was like, mm-hmm. See, you knew what somebody had been doing. You knew. But you also knew that you was a healer and that you was going to find your way, that you was the one who deserved the goodness. That's why you wasn't worried about it. That's why you wasn't worried about it. And this opportunity they thought that they had it. H-A-D, had, past tense. Now it's like, okay, well, you the one who gets the wish fulfillment. You get the wish fulfillment because justice is going in your favor because of a stupid decision that somebody else that they decided they needed to make. How they was going to cut you out. How they broke the fucking law. Mm-hmm. How they broke the fucking law. They was trying to have you hemmed up. Let me get my ankles free. I swear. I know you fucking lying. I swear. I'm getting all y'all asses. Every last one of y'all. Who is that behind you? Okay, I see you. I'm getting you too. Everybody leave your ID so I know exactly who is here because I'm getting all y'all. Mm-hmm. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, now they feel intimidated and small. I'm telling you, it was this coven. All of them stuck in their ego or their pride. They ain't stuck no more. Trust me, them bars is gonna help them get out that shit. Them bars is gonna when they come up with them spiritual bars, they gonna be like, oh, we stuck. Oh, what ego, what pride? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's the message? Yep. They were sitting here trying to dig a hole for you. And they should have dug two. They just gave the devil 2 souls for the price of 1. This could be a U, V, W, or X in their first, middle, last name. Yep. They just did not know who you was related to. Jesus and the Ascended Masters. They didn't know. I'm telling you, something is happening 3 days to 3 weeks in the near future. Very soon it is coming. And it's going to be a welcome change. It is going to be a welcome change. Yeah, Paul. Paul's ass. What's the message, Spirit? Yep. Something could be happening on Saturday. But you know what? Decide that you have all you need. You don't need them asses. You need balance. And just make sure that you have balance, because you know that every single word was a motherfucking lie. Lying ass motherfuckers. Now you see things clearly. And people see that nobody was competing with them. There wasn't nobody competing with their ass. Compete for what? First of all, we don't want nothing that you got. And absolutely nothing. We don't want to be where you at. And surely don't want to be where you at. And we don't want to look like you. We surely don't want to look like that. Hell no. And we don't like who you with. So we definitely don't want that either. So compete about what? With your big feet ass. Heavy-handed ass. Come on. Compete for what? Shit, you got hair in places that shouldn't even be no hair, and then no hair in places that should be hair. Compete about what? Come on now. Sitting here watching you be great. Sitting there running with their tail between their legs. You done turned a new page. Now they want to come back. No backsies, baby. No backsies. No backsies. You did it. You and your magician ass. Now take that magic on over there and scat. That's the message, Spirit. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. They got a message about you. That message was that you truly is a sweetheart. And you know what else? They feel so fucked up because everybody, they see now that they was actually connected to you, and everybody else is connected. Everything that they went through, everything that they tried to put you through, it was all connected. Of why somebody was just out for your blood. They feel so stupid. They feel like Einstein with a dunce cap. You so damn smart, your ass is dumb. Didn't even know you was dumb. But your ass is dumb. Because if you didn't ask no follow-up questions, no clarifiers, no qualifiers, no quantifiers, your ass is dumb. D-U-M-B. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I guess that's enough me yelling at the top of my lungs this morning before I start my 8 hours, Then whenever I get on the phone with them, then people be like, damn, she is a live wire. I bet the fuck I am. At least I don't be cursing at work. Anyway, I will see y'all this morning. Today's motto, thou shalt not try me. Move 24/7. Let that be the collector's motto today. All right. I love all of y'all. And I will see y'all this evening. And it's Friday. Woo! Not that I'm going to do anything different, but I love y'all. Have a great day.